There was a bigger reason why TPUSA had to do their own halftime show, because the NFL's halftime show failed its one true mandate.
Doing a halftime show in all Spanish is not unifying.
The Super Bowl halftime show divided in a time that's supposed to be a unifying moment.
They could have found somebody more uniting.
Why the is it the Super Bowl halftime entertainer's job to unify the country? In what world is that their job? Oh, isn't there another person whose job description is much more along those lines? Let me ask you a question.
I mean, it's a good
Let's
question.
see. I guess so, yeah, the president. Hey, good morning. Welcome to Morning Joe. It's Tuesday, February 10th. We have a lot to get to, but Willie, I still am just, the right, the MAGA right always loved that they used to trigger Democrats. I have never seen a crazier, triggering event than a super time halftime show causing people to literally lose their minds. It's like Dave Drucker said, I don't listen to Bad Bunny, but it looked kind of cool. I mean, it's a halftime show, people. It's
so
a
fun.
halftime show.
Fabulous.
I mean, and it also, Willie, because you know what I do. We do the orphanage work. We come here. We go off-track betting. But while I'm reading the racing sheets for the dogs, I do two things. One, I listen to Italian opera, as you know. And second thing is I watch C-SPAN. And yesterday there was a caller that goes in, and people are going to believe this, and they're going to. But yesterday there was a caller to C-SPAN. I actually saw this on X. There's a caller to C-SPAN who said, I go to opera and I don't know Italian. Why is this so difficult for you all? But it is. And they're like, my favorite, and it was said in racist neighborhoods across America over the past couple days, he's not even American. Why aren't we having an American here? More American than you two, more American than Paul McCartney, more American than go down the list. It's okay if they just want to admit they're bigots. They can admit, just say, we don't like brown people doing our halftime shows. They might as well say it, because they're wasting a lot of time and energy going crazy trying to blame it on everything else, Willie.
The desperate search for outrage, of manufactured outrage, has just been stunning to watch over the last several days. And again, like you say, you don't have to be a fan of Bad Bunny. You don't have to have understood the lyrics of Bad Bunny to appreciate the spectacle he put on for 13 minutes and the joyful spectacle that it was. And for those complaining that they don't understand Spanish and it shouldn't have been in Spanish, he even put up on the Jumbotron, the only thing that defeats love is hate. He even wrote on a football at the end that together we are America. He put those things in English for you. So maybe if you didn't understand just by watching the joy on display, that you could read it where he wrote it. It's just, I see people yesterday just screaming, truly becoming unhinged, that football belongs to us. These are people, quick, name two players on each team, and they couldn't do it, obviously. That goes without saying. But people, somehow, the fact that Bad Bunny, who is the single most popular artist on planet Earth, he had more streams last year than Taylor Swift on Spotify, just to put it into perspective. The fact that that upsets you and makes you believe that a cultural institution called football is somehow being taken from you is just so revealing. And we should say the people you see on TV and podcasts screaming about it don't mean a word of it. They just have to fill and get
They don't mean any of it. They don't mean it. They don't mean any of it at all. But what they have to do for their audiences, they have to be shocked and stunned and deeply saddened. And it is something that the richest, most powerful, most entitled group of people are the ones screaming the most. And Mika Willie's exactly right. He's exactly right. After decades of conservatives accusing Democrats of embracing victimhood.
Yeah.
The MAGA right has been defined by, the media is coming down on us. This is, everybody's victimizing them. They're so put out and, our country's being taken away. Republicans, they own the White House. Republicans own the House of Representatives. Republicans own the United States Senate. Republicans, I would never have said that before this past year, but I will say it now. Republicans own the Supreme Court. They refuse to rule on basic laws that they know, basic things they know are unconstitutional. They're a wholly owned subsidiary right now of Donald Trump's White House because they do nothing. So they own Washington, D.C., and now they're so desperate, like Willie said, we've got to find somebody who's victimizing us. Let's make a big deal about the halftime show and say that the NFL, just so you know, this is what real conservatives are thinking about the NFL, and get out there going, okay, let's see. So we can get the most popular artist in the world to come out here, or a guy wearing skirts that hasn't had a hit in 20 years. No, we'll go with Bad Bunny. And so they go with a guy who's the biggest artist in the world, the most streams in the world, who will help. I know this will be shocking because it's capitalism, who will help with a demographic that historically spends less on the NFL than they do on other sports. Hispanic consumers spend a ton of money on sports, but a disproportionately low share on the NFL. There's a reason they're playing games in Mexico City. There's a reason they're playing games in Spain. There's a reason they had Bad Bunny, other than he's the biggest artist in the world. It's a capitalist move, which I thought conservatives liked. But they're so busy building these phony fainting couches to be shocked and stunned and deeply saddened. They overlooked what was an extraordinary halftime show. It was a Broadway musical. Did I understand the words? No, but I don't understand the words to most halftime shows. It also created a lot of great memes. People waking up being able to speak Spanish, after watching Bad Bunny. But I will say, and then I'll shut up about it, it was a cultural marker.
It was.
The two things that happened this weekend, Donald Trump's racist post of the President of the United States and the First Lady of the United States being apes, followed by this intense hatred for an American. It's been a defining moment for millions and millions of Americans. And the Republican Party is on the wrong side of this culturally, and they're on the wrong side of history. They're also on the wrong side of capitalism. I mean, if they want to freak out and have people watch their shows and their podcasts, that's fine. But the facts are the facts are the facts. 130 million people watched. Puppy Bowl, I think, came in around 11, 12 million. That was pretty good, too.
Yeah. And then the Turning Point event, how'd that do? I mean, the numbers are the numbers, and it seemed like a lot of people liked it. That's the feeling I got. And the numbers seem to back it up.